What is up, all my lovely subjects? It's your Royal Highness Sing King here. I just did that again, so I'm gonna redo my intro. Sorry. What is up, all my lovely subjects? It's your Royal Highness Sing King here, and today I'm giving my lovely subjects the story time of how I got into falling in reverse. I know I'm a little late with this, and I am very sorry about that. Um, my dad took my phone away again, and he was home on Friday, so I'm not allowed to use his laptop at all. But when he's not home, I'm gonna use it because I don't care. So, yeah, today I'm gonna give you guys my lovely subjects, the story time of how I got into falling in reverse. So, Jade told me about falling in reverse. It was he told me about them around the time when I had already gotten into screamo music. It was like maybe like a year or two after. It might have been like the same year. I don't know. But it was like early on in me like listening to screamo music that I found out about falling in reverse. And Jade and I were hanging out in front of his house, and he had three songs by them on the phone he had at the time, which, if I remember correctly, was really, really crappy. But he played The Jug in Me Is You, I'm Not a Vampire, and Fashionably Late for me. And for the longest time, Jade doesn't remember this probably, but I did not like Falling in Reverse when I first heard them, which is very weird to me. But yeah. It was really, really weird. But ironically, it's kind of like Chiodo's. The song that made me hate Falling in Reverse when I first heard them was The Drug in Me Is You, the very first single they ever released back in 2011. And The Jug in Me Is You was also the song that got me into Falling in Reverse. And it's one of my all time favorite Falling in Reverse songs. My definite favorite all-time low song. What the hell? All-time low? Falling in Reverse song. I don't think I have like an all-time favorite. No, I do. Stay Away is my favorite Falling in Reverse song from the Just Like You album. And Just Like You is my favorite Falling in Reverse album. Uh And I love the two singles they have for the new album they're going to be releasing sometime later this year. I love Losing My Mind and Losing My Life. They are amazing songs. I love Ronnie Radke. He's amazing. He has a great voice. He's sexy as hell. Uh, I don't know. I can't wait for the new Falling in Reverse album. Falling in Reverse is one of my favorite bands. I love Falling in Reverse. Before I listened to the first album by Falling in Reverse, I knew entirely was The Jug in Me Is You. And then like after Jade played I'm Not a Vampire and The Jug in Me Is You for me from the Jug in Me Is You album, I listened to the whole album. So The Jug in Me Is You was the first Falling in Reverse album that I knew entirely. And then I heard like a few other songs from the Fashionably Late album, like Bad Girls Club and Game Over and It's Over When It's Over. And I heard a few songs from Just Like You. Well, actually, there was one song I knew from Just Like You before I listened to the whole thing, which was Just Like You. And I was a few months late to finding out about the Coming Home album because I know that Falling in Reverse released Coming Home as the first single for the Coming Home album, but I it wasn't intentional. I didn't mean to, but I stayed away from listening to Falling in Reverse for a while when they were releasing singles for the Coming Home album. So it was kind of like me with Paramore and the After Laughter album. I didn't find out about the Coming Home album until a few months after it had been released. It was released on April. Let me look this up really quick. I can't. It was sometime in April 2017. I need to look this up on Google. When did Falling in Reverse release? Coming Home. April 7th is when Falling in Reverse released the Coming Home album. I'm not sure when they released all their albums. I need to look. They released the Juggin' Me Is You sometime in July 2011. I think. July 25th, 2011. Fashionably Late was, I believe, February. No, I'm wrong. I'm looking all of these up on Google right now. I'm sorry. Because I haven't paid attention to when they released their albums. June 18th, 2013. So 9 days after I turned 14. When did Falling in Reverse release the Just Like You album? My favorite album that they have. February 24th, 2015. So, yeah. I feel bad for not knowing that because Falling in Reverse is one of my favorite bands. So, yeah. I'm sorry to all you Falling in Reverse fans out there. I don't really pay attention to dates when bands release albums. So I'm sorry if that just made you cringe that I had to look that up. Anyway, there's rumors that the fifth Falling in Reverse album, the next Falling in Reverse album, is either going to be titled Losing My Life or it's going to be a self-titled album and they're just going to call it Falling in Reverse. Personally, I don't think that Falling in Reverse has been around long enough to do a self-titled album. Even though I do love Falling in Reverse, I don't think they've been around long enough personally to do a self-titled album for their next album. But yeah, I honestly think if Jade had not played Falling in Reverse for me, I probably would not love Falling in Reverse, even though I didn't like them when I first heard them. I don't know why. I don't know what it was. It was just when Jade played The Juggin' Me Is You. Oh, I have someone watching. Hi. But when Jade played The Juggin' Me Is You and I'm Not a Vampire from the Juggin' Me Is You album and Fashionably Late from the Fashionably Late album, I lost my viewer. I didn't like those songs very much. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the fact that when I started listening to Falling in Reverse, when I got myself into Falling in Reverse, I thought personally that Ronnie's voice, even though he sings like in a higher octave, his voice sounded too low to me. That might have been part of the reason why I didn't like Falling in Reverse when I first heard them. But now I love them so much. A viewer came back. Hi. But still, Falling in Reverse holds a very special place in my heart. I love them because they were one of the bands that helped me through my depression in high school. It was them, Escape the Fate, Chiodos, Bullet for My Valentine, uh, Icon for Hire, Broken Side, The Medic Droid. Avril Lavigne helped me through my depression too, because as everyone knows from that story time I did, Avril Lavigne's one of my girls. So, but that's not what I'm talking about right now. But to me, it sounds like with the two singles that Falling in Reverse has released for their new album that they're going to release sometime this year, it sounds like they're going to change up their sound a little bit, which I kind of had a feeling that they were going to try to do that when they announced that they were going to start writing a new album, because I remember reading something like after Falling in Reverse released their first album, The Drug in Me Is You. I remember reading something that said, it was a quote from Ronnie Radke that said when he was still with Escape the Fate, he wanted to try to change up their sound a little bit with the second full-length album that Escape the Fate would have done with Ronnie Radke if they hadn't kicked him out. But yet, when he formed Falling in Reverse, the Drug in Me Is You album sounded exactly like the only full length album that Ronnie Radke did with Escape the Fate, Dying is Your Latest Fashion. It was weird because, like, he said he wanted to change up the sound from Escape the Fate when Falling in Reverse was formed, and then he didn't start changing up the sound until the Fashionably Late album came. Which, I mean, that's fine, but it's just in like the early days of Falling in Reverse, it seemed like Ronnie was trying to make Falling in Reverse exactly like Escape the Fate, just with a different band name. I wasn't a fan of Falling in Reverse or Escape the Fate when the whole drama happened when Ronnie got kicked out of Escape the Fate, because around that time I was still scared of screamo music. So I didn't know about the whole drama that had happened. And then when I found out about the whole drama, that's when I formed my own opinion and started thinking, you know, Ronnie sounds better with Escape the Fate than with Falling in Reverse, but it's complicated. I think Ronnie Radke sounded better with Escape the Fate, but I still love Falling in Reverse more than I love Escape the Fate, which is, it's complicated. I don't know. 'Cause I mean, I like Craig Mabbitt as the lead singer of Escape the Fate, but I personally don't think he sounds as good of a vocalist as Ronnie Radke does. I don't know. It's very complicated. I mean, I'm getting a little bit off topic by talking about Escape the Fate, but if you are a part of the whole emo scene, goth, punk, whatever the hell else there is in this community, if you're part of this whole thing, you can't talk about Falling in Reverse sometimes without talking about the fact that Ronnie Radke used to be in Escape the Fate. If you know about the whole drama that happened with Ronnie Radke when he was with Escape the Fate. If you're just a Falling in Reverse fan that had no idea that Ronnie used to be with Escape the Fate, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, if you were one of the people who's a fan of Falling in Reverse and didn't know that Ronnie used to be with Escape the Fate before you watched this video, then there you go. But at this point, I feel like probably everybody, almost everybody who knows Falling in Reverse knows that Ronnie Radke used to be with Escape the Fate. But it's just, it even confuses me as to how I can think that Ronnie sounded better with Escape the Fate than he does with Falling in Reverse, but still love Falling in Reverse more than Escape the Fate. Oh, my one viewer that I had and lost left me a like. Thank you for that. But anyway, I don't know. It's for me, it's a very, very, very complicated situation to explain why I love Falling in Reverse more than Escape the Fate, but still feel like Ronnie Radke was better in Escape the Fate than Falling in Reverse. It makes sense to me, but I don't know if it makes sense to you guys who know what I'm talking about. I don't know. It's just, I've never been able to explain it. It's just, I found out about the whole drama that happened with Ronnie Radke and Craig Mabbitt and Escape the Fate around the time when Falling in Reverse had just recently released the Fashionably Late album, their second album, which was like, it was like 2013. It was like somewhere in between 2012 and 2013. So it might have been around the time when they were releasing singles for Fashionably Late. I don't know. But it was sometime in 2015 when I found out that Ronnie Radke used to be a part of Escape the Fate. And I don't know. For the longest time, like being a scene person, back then I called myself a scene kid because I wasn't an adult yet. But back then, being a scene kid and liking Falling in Reverse, because I hadn't really fallen in love with Falling in Reverse yet by the time I found out that Ronnie Radke used to be a part of Escape the Fate. But being a scene kid back in like 2015, 2014, 2015, somewhere in there, being a scene kid around that time and just recently finding out at that time that Ronnie Radke was in Escape the Fate from like 2005 until like early 2007. And then like in late 2007 is when Craig Mabbitt joined Escape the Fate. And then 2011, well, technically, no. It was like 2008, while Ronnie was still in jail, he formed Falling in Reverse, but they were still under the name From Behind These Walls. And then before they released their first album, The Drug in Me Is You, they decided to change the name to Falling in Reverse, which I think it's just something personal to Ronnie that like he felt like he was on the top in the music business when Escape the Fate had released the Dying Is Your Latest Fashion album. And then when he got kicked out of Escape the Fate, he fell from the top. And then when Falling in Reverse started to get huge, he started to rise up again, which is what I think Falling in Reverse probably means. I don't know. It would make sense, but I'm not sure if I'm right on that or not. But still, Falling in Reverse, I fell in love with Falling in Reverse sometime around the time of it was like early 2018 is when I officially fell in love with Falling in Reverse. Like I did really, really, really like Falling in Reverse's music before uh like early 2018, but I hadn't really fallen in love with them yet, technically. So, because like by before I fell in love with Falling in Reverse, the only songs I knew by them were I knew the entire The Jug and Me Is You album, which is Raised by Wolves, Tragic Magic, The Drug in Me Is You, I'm Not a Vampire, Good Girls, Bad Guys, Pick Up the Phone, Don't Mess with Ouija Boards, Sink or Swim, Caught Like a Fly, Goodbye Graceful, and The Westerner. And I knew the entire Coming Home album, which is Coming Home, Broken, Loser, Fuck You and All Your Friends, I Hate Everyone, I'm Bad at Life, Hanging On, Superhero, Straight to Hell, I Don't Mind, The Departure, Right Now, and Paparazzi. My favorite song from The Jug and Me Is You is um, probably Good Girls, Bad Guys. It would either be Good Girls, Bad Guys or Pick Up the Phone or Goodbye Graceful. I can't choose between those three. I love all three of those songs so much. Goodbye Graceful, Good Girls, Bad Guys, and Pick Up the Phone. Fashionably Late, it would be a tie between Drifter and Bad Girls Club and Fuck the Rest. Just Like You, my favorite song from the Just Like You album is Stay Away. And my favorite song from the Coming Home album is Loser. But my all time favorite Falling in Reverse song right now is Stay Away from the Just Like You album. It might change when they release their new album this year. I don't know. We will have to see about that. So I don't know. I don't know what else to really say. But Um, oh, Byron commented. I never saw that. I'm sorry, Byron. I didn't have my chat thing here. So I'm sorry. Wow, Byron said, I'm here. And then he said, I still had depression. You know that. Yeah, I do. Anyway, I don't know. I'm really excited for the new Falling in Reverse album that's going to come out this year. And like I said, it's either going to be called, I think I talked about this, I might have, but it's either going to be a self-titled album and they're just going to call it Falling in Reverse, or they're going to call it Losing My Life. I don't know right now. But I mean, I'm excited for it, partially because of the fact that they're changing their sound. And I love the new sound that they're putting out right now. So that's why I'm excited for this new Falling in Reverse album. And who else is coming out with a new album this year? All Time Low might be coming out with a new album this year. I'm getting off topic right now, but I don't care. Dead Girls Academy might release a new album this year. I don't know. Um, Avril Lavigne just released a new album. The Head Above Water album, which I love. Bring Me the Horizon just released. The Ammo album, which I also love. When I first heard it, I thought it sounded like shit. But now, the reason that was just because. Sorry. The reason I originally didn't like the new Bring Me the Horizon album, the Ammo album, was because it was probably just because I wasn't used to hearing that sound from Bring Me the Horizon that they have on the Ammo album. But now I love it. Now that I've gotten past the fact that they changed their sound, I personally love the Ammo album from Bring Me the Horizon. I don't have a strict favorite song from it yet, but um, the only reason I'm talking about Bring Me the Horizon at the end of this video is because I think I told you guys when I was talking about how I got into Bring Me the Horizon that I would talk about the Ammo album. I don't know. But I mean, I love Mantra, whatever it is. I love that song. I love In the Dark. I love Wonderful Life. I love Medicine. It's a great song. And I love Sugar, Honey, Ice, and Tea. I kind of like Why You Gotta Kick Me When I'm Down. I don't like Fresh Bruises that much. It's okay. I love Mother Tongue. I love heavy metal. And I kind of like I Don't Know What to Say. My favorite song from the AMO album would either be, I don't know, it's a tie between a few songs. It's a tie between In the Dark, Medicine, Sugar, Honey, Ice, and Tea, Mother Tongue, and heavy metal. I just got off topic with that and I'm sorry. But anyway, Falling in Reverse. I am so excited for their new album. But right now, I either want an album name or a new single for the album. This has been going on for half an hour now. Wow. Probably because I get getting a little bit off topic. But I felt like I had to tell you guys what my favorite songs from the Ammo album were because I talked about Bring Me the Horizon a while back. Bring Me the Horizon was one of the first ones I did. I think one of the first story times I did about my bands I love. They might have been. I need to look. No, Bring Me the Horizon was like a month. No, they were one of the first ones. Bring Me the Horizon was the third band I did when I started doing these videos about how I got into the bands I like. But anyway, yeah, I don't have anything else to say anymore because this is going nowhere now. But I'm so excited for this new Falling in Reverse album. I don't know when it's gonna come out, but when it does come out, I will definitely listen to it as soon as it comes out because I have been waiting for this since probably a month or two before Falling in Reverse released the first single for this new album, Losing My Mind. Because when right before Falling in Reverse released Losing My Mind as the first single for this new album, I was talking to Jade and Jay and telling both of them that I think Falling in Reverse needed to start releasing new singles or tell us the name of a new album that they're going to make. And then a few months later, we got Losing My Mind. And then, 4 months after that, we got Losing My Life. And now I feel like personally, as a really, really, really huge fan of Falling in Reverse, I personally feel like it's either time for them to reveal the name of the upcoming album, or it's time for them to give us a new single. Like, they don't even have to make a music video for it, in my opinion. If they give us a new song, they can at least give us an audio video. Like what Bring Me the Horizon did when they first released Mantra, whatever, however that word is said, I don't know. But when Bring Me the Horizon released Mantra, whatever, they gave us an audio video and then they gave us a music video. But I mean, Falling in Reverse could give us an audio video of a new single for the new album. That's either that or an album name is all I want from Falling in Reverse right now. Because I love Falling in Reverse so much. They are I keep saying this, they are one of my favorite bands. I say that about a lot of bands, but I really, really mean it when it comes to Falling in Reverse and Paramore and other bands like that and All Time Low and stuff. But Falling in Reverse seriously is one of my favorite bands. I love them to death. Partially because of Ronnie Radke, but he's not a huge part of the reason why I love Falling in Reverse. But Yeah. I can't wait for this new Falling in Reverse album. I want it so badly because this is going to be this upcoming Falling in Reverse album that's going to be released later this year is the first Falling in Reverse album that I am going to hear the day that they release it. Because like I said earlier, I was really, really late to finding out that Falling in Reverse had released the Coming Home album. So that's why the Coming Home album was the second album I heard entirely from them. Like, my order of how I listened to the Falling in Reverse albums is out of order because it was like I listened to The Drug in Me Is You first entirely, and then I listened to Coming Home entirely, and then I listened to Fashionably Late entirely, and then I listened to Just Like You entirely. But now, like with the upcoming albums that they're gonna do in the future, hopefully now I can get on track with listening to what they release, like in the order that they release it. Because that's what I'm trying to do now with Falling in Reverse and Paramore and Escape the Fate. That's what I'm trying to do with a lot of the bands I listen to now. I'm trying to like I'm gonna make this one specific to Falling in Reverse because that's what the story time's about. But with Falling in Reverse, now that they are releasing a new album, and I listened to the first single they released the day they uploaded it to their YouTube channel, and I listened to the second single they released for their new album the day they uploaded it to their YouTube channel. I want to try to stay on track with when Falling in Reverse releases music. As long as I'm still into them, I want to stay on track with what they release. Anyway, yeah, I want to stay on track now with Falling in Reverse and all the other bands that I listen to as long as I'm still listening to these bands and as long as I still like their music. Because, like, in the future, I might not even be into Falling in Reverse or Paramore or Escape the Fate or We Came as Romans or Dead Girls Academy or frickin' Arch Enemy or something. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what kind of music I'm gonna like in the future because that's a problem for future me to figure out. But as long as I'm still into bands like Falling in Reverse, I want to try to keep up with what they do, like music wise and like album wise and everything. I want to keep up with it because music is one of the things, it's one of the reasons I'm still here and I'm still alive. Because I mean, I'm still going through depression and everything, I'm still dealing with anxiety. I'm on anxiety medication now, which is not what I wanted, but my doctor didn't listen to me. And I'm seeing my old therapist again for depression and anxiety. So thank God for that, because I wanted to go back and see him for a long time because of that. And my dad finally took me back to see him. So, yeah. My sister just asked me if I'm technically still grounded. My dad still feels like he can ground me just because I still live with him, even though I'm 19. But when he's not home, I'm doing this. I'm trying to do this to do videos on his laptop for all of my lovely subjects because I love you guys. You guys are awesome. I mean, my channel has been starting to grow, and I want to keep it growing. That's why when my dad takes my phone, I try to do live videos. I should end this video in a few minutes because it's so long. But anyway, I'm pretty much done talking about Falling in Reverse now. I'm really, really, really excited for their new album, and I really want a release date for the new Falling in Reverse album. At this point now, I don't even give a crap about the name of the album. I just either want to know when it's going to be released or I want a new single. I don't care about the name of it anymore. I'm done with trying to figure out what the name of it is. But anyway, that's all I have to say about Falling in Reverse. Next week, I am going to give all of my lovely subjects the story time of how I got into Panic at the Disco. I have been a fan of Panic at the Disco since they started, so I'm not like one of the fans of Panic at the Disco that got into Panic at the Disco during the Too Weird to Live, Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die era. I got into them during the a fever I can't speak right now. I got into Panic at the Disco in 2005 during the A Fever You Can't Sweat Out era. So I'm so glad I'm not like one of the Panic at the Disco fans that got into Panic at the Disco during the Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die era or the Death of a Bachelor era. Because I am basically an original Panic at the Disco fan. I do kind of like the new stuff, like the solo stuff that Brendan has been doing, but it, in my opinion, it doesn't sound as good as when like Spencer and everyone else were a part of Panic at the Disco before it became just Brendan during the Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die era. But yeah, next week I will give all my lovely subjects the story time of how I got into Panic at the Disco. So this has been Scene King. I will see all of my lovely subjects in my next video. Well, okay, I'm not going to give it to you guys next week. I'm going to give you guys the story time of how I got into Panic at the Disco this Friday. I'm sorry for that. But yeah, I'll see you guys on Friday where I tell you guys how I got into Panic at the Disco. So this has been Scene King. I will see all of my lovely subjects on Tuesday in my next video, hopefully.